this life of madness, baby. She's the one that keeps me sane. Me and my Hana psychedelic, making love with Mary Jane as we skate to the sky.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is your girl, Angel Vegas. Thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. I have a very special guest in the house. My special guest is who?
Ese 40Z.
So 40s, what do you consider your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement, I would say, is staying out of trouble as long as I have and being successful with all this music that I've made up to this point.
What is your most marked characteristic?
My most marked characteristic to me is that I came from and grew up in the small town of Artesia, New Mexico. Shout out to everyone that way and much love.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
If there's one thing I could change about me, it'd probably be to not be a felon. That way I could own firearms legally. But oh well, thug life.
What was your creative process when you did your latest album?
My creative process for the last album I released, well, what can I say? I was doing a lot of drinking and drugging, which I don't recommend. But that's not going to be the case for this next album since I've gone sober. So that's what I'm supporting now.
I'm going to talk about your recent, talk about going international or other countries.
Yeah.
So your experience in Canada. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
End of February, beginning of March, I had made a trip to Seattle to go collaborate and, record some music, collaborate with other artists. I also went to go see my kids. Vancouver, Canada is only 2 hours away from Seattle. So I thought that it would be a good idea to visit Vancouver.
Right, which was proper. So on your little venture to Vancouver, I mean, you said that there was a pretty interesting situation that happened there. I mean, do you want to elaborate and tell us a little bit about that?
I got an Amtrak ticket to go to Vancouver because, like I said, it's only 2 hours away. So I said, all right, I'll just take the Amtrak train over there. Mm-hmm. And who attended with me was my mom because they fly all around the U.S. as a caseworker, like
right.
Social worker. Okay, so she was in Seattle at the time too. So she decided to go ahead and attend the trip. And so we both took off on the Amtrak to Vancouver, Canada. And I was all excited and, I was recording videos and everything on the way over there. But whenever I got over there, when I did get to Canada, when we finally got there, I got off and she checked out everything was good with her. They're like, all right, you could go into Canada. Me, they searched through all my stuff, but then they told me, you're going to have to wait here. And they called the supervisor. I don't even know what his title is, but he's the one who runs the, Border Patrol up there. Yeah, Border Patrol up there. And that's whenever it all started. They detained me.
I mean, seriously, okay, so what was the reason? What was that about? Do you think I think that it sounds like they just profiled you.
Yeah, that's what I told them right away, but of course they're not going to say that.
Of course not.
Yeah, they said, no, well, we're not detaining you because of all your tattoos and all that stuff, because I kept telling them, like, well, I understand the way I look and all that, but they were saying, no, it's not that. So 2 big things that they brought up, they said because of tattoos, gang involvement. They said, why are you coming to visit Vancouver? I said, I just wanted to go visit, to check out the city, take pictures, you know what I mean? Just explore, just to travel over there, because I'd never been out of the country. Except for Mexico, not with a passport. Back then, I didn't need a passport. This is the first time I ever used my passport.
Right. So, and that's gotta suck too. Like, first time you had to use your passport, experience in a different country. And dudes, okay, first of all, okay, what kind of organization they were trying to tell you that you would? What does that even mean? Like,
the way that they treated me, to me, the vibe I picked up, like trying to tell me, do I belong to like a crime syndicate or a cartel or you know what I mean, something like that. If I'm trying to cross over drugs, that's the way that they're treating me.
Okay, all right.
Like if I was trying to smuggle drugs into Canada, that's what I picked up off of them. The kind of vibe.
That's pretty interesting. And they held you for how many hours?
10
hours.
Yeah.
And then so after the 10 hours, I mean, when they didn't let you go through though.
No, not even. They were like, you're not. They made me sign a paper. I think it was withdraw my application to Canada.
Are you serious? So that means you're bombarded like 86th or whatever from Canada. You could never go to Canada.
Well, they didn't say never. They said I'd have to like write a letter to the Prime Minister. I don't know how the government runs over there, but I know they brought up some like stuff of like, I think they're under the Queen or Britain. Something about Parliament and some crazy stuff. It says it in the paper. But yeah, they said I'd have to write a letter and explain. They told me that there's been a lot of artists that went over there that have like criminal backgrounds, and they have to write a letter or they have to go through the consulate there and explain how they've changed their life, and you know what I mean, how they're not involved in thug life no more or whatever. Yeah, because one of the people they brought up to me was Snoop Dogg. They said Snoop Dogg wasn't allowed in there back then. And
so, and you said that you were telling me about you had to prove you were an artist. I mean, so how did that?
Yeah, they didn't want. That's the thing. They detained me for those 10 hours. They didn't believe me. They said you have to have some other purpose of coming here to Canada.
That's crazy.
Like a criminal purpose. You know what I mean? I said I do music, but they didn't want to believe me. They said, how do you make your money traveling all these places? Because they really did dig into my history and background and all of that stuff. And I said, well, I do music, and they didn't want to believe me. So I don't think they looked into my stuff till like the last 2 hours that they had me detained. I told them in the end, whenever I was frustrated with them already, I said, go look at my YouTube. I said, go look at my Facebook. I said, it's easy to look me up. You know what I mean? Francisco Docho. I gave them my name, and they finally did go and look into that. So whenever they did look into that, and I know that they were because I could hear it in the back office. I could hear my music playing.
Right.
So I gave them my Instagram. I gave them my Facebook. I gave them my YouTube. They finally looked into it, and after all said and done, that's when they came back and they said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to release you, whatever. But still, even at that, they said, we're gonna take you back to the U.S. border, which was in some town on the top of Washington. But we're going to have to take you in cuffs.
Wait. So did they really?
Yeah, they took.
They cuffed you and took you in cuffs. That is wild. Okay, and what was your mom thinking this whole time? I mean, like your mom had to.
Well, she didn't want to leave. She didn't want to leave whenever they said you're free to go, man.
Right.
I knew that they weren't gonna let me go, so I said go back across. You know.
Right.
We'll figure it out later whenever they do let me go. Because even though I didn't do nothing wrong, they made me feel like I did something.
Well, yeah,
wrong.
because they even had you in handcuffs.
Or I was doing something wrong.
That's just out of hand. So anybody like Canada. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of bad things to say about Canada, actually, but that was just their whole principle. This whole situation was just morally wrong. You know what I mean? Like it's.
You know, whenever I told them I'm a music artist and that's how I make my living, they're like, no. They're like, tell us the truth. How do you really make your money? So they're just disregarding that I was saying that I do music. And
So
they're like, no, you're lying.
Yes, yeah, that's out of hand. I'm
sorry.
Not
only that, they were kind of treating my mom like they're acting like if she wasn't my mom. You know, when she said that she was my mom, they like didn't even take that serious.
I can't even imagine what your mom was thinking this whole time. Like seriously, she kept her cool, which is I don't know, guys.
I still want to go over there though.
Well, you know what?
I'll write the letter. I'll go through the consulate. Whatever I have to do, I'll do it.
It's just ridiculous that they're making you even have to go there.
There was one other thing too. I have a DUI from Las Vegas from last year.
Okay.
It's not a felony or nothing.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But still though, I didn't know within the past few years in Canada, and it didn't used to be like this. But now over there, DUI is a big, serious criminal offense.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Really?
And then they came back with the paper that says I have a DUI, and they're like, "Did you know that you could get up to 10 years in prison here for that, and it's a very serious criminal offense."
Okay. Well, but their laws may have changed.
They barely changed their laws.
But still, I mean, your DUI had nothing to do with Canada, so it means that. I think they were just making excuses, just excuse after excuse to keep you out. But
and then that was just like that was a stamp right there to declare me like a super criminal because
that's ridiculous for a DUI.
Last year,
wow. Well, if you ever do decide to go and try to do the paperwork and get to Canada, please do.
I still want to do it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's a troubling story though. But I'm glad you guys made it through it. I'm sorry that you didn't get to go to Canada at that moment, and you were treated pretty fucking wrong. I'm sorry.
Well, I would hope whenever I go again, they already have all my stuff documented.
Well, they should.
So they don't have to detain me for 10 hours again, right?
Well, right.
And they don't have to be like, "Are you really a music artist? Is this really what you do?"
Exactly. It should be. It will be documented. It should be anyway. Well, again, I apologize for that inconvenience and situation. I mean, and your mom, please do.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're here telling your story about it because I think that it definitely needs to be known and heard.
Yeah, I'm going through intensive counseling right now for that.
Yeah.
No, not really. I'm just kidding.
I was like, really? Well, I don't blame you.
Not really. I'm just joking. Much love, Canada. Everybody in Canada. I still want to go over there for real. I still want to see Vancouver.
Yeah.
And I still want to go other places in Canada. I'll do the proper paperwork and write whoever I got to write, the Queen of England or the Prime Minister or whatever I got to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, Canada is.
They really do fall under the Queen of England. I'm serious.
No,
it's
British
Parliament.
It's legit.
Stuff, yeah.
I actually lived out there. my mom sent me out there when I was a teenager. You know, I was being in trouble, you know, troublemaker. But my aunt had lived out there in Edmonton.
Well, you're lucky.
Well, no, I wasn't really. I could not wait to get
I
back
heard
home,
it's
to be
nice
honest.
over there.
No, it's beautiful. Just I'm just the cold, you know. But then again, coming from Colorado, I guess it doesn't really matter. But at the time, it did, you know. No, it was very beautiful. I checked out West Edmonton Mall. It's actually one of the biggest malls in the world, you know, Mattel. They built one, I think, in China or Japan, I'm not sure. But so when you do go check that out. I'm serious. I'm kind of upset about the handcuffing part.
Well, I didn't expect that whenever they said, you know, they had me sign some papers that to withdraw my application to enter Canada, right? So I said, all right, I'm not getting into Canada. I had a hotel booked at the Marriott there in Vancouver. I had to cancel out on that. I'm glad that I was able to get my money back for that.
Well, right?
I got refunded for that. I got refunded for the train ticket that I was supposed to take back because I missed my train. I said, put the cuffs on, let's go. An interesting story that I do have is the two Border Patrol agents that took me back across. They asked me about my music.
Did they really?
On the way over there,
okay.
Yeah. And they told me am I on Spotify and all that, and they put my music on whenever they were taking me back to the US.
So they were checking it out.
The thing I can say though is everybody was nice. Except for that supervisor dude. But he didn't ease up until the end, until they looked into all my music. Then he was nice.
Okay.
Before that, he was just like, he's like, he has to be a criminal.
Wow, that's out of hand. Well, please do keep me updated if you happen to get across the border and go check out Canada, because I think we all would like to know how that experience goes. Don't give up on that. So, would you like to add anything else? Do you have any upcoming projects by chance that your fans want to be on the lookout for?
Yeah, I got a project that I'm doing with my homeboy Kid 187 right now. We're wrapping up some video footage that we're doing a music video / commercial advertisement for a clothing store in El Paso called La Negrita.
Right.
So,
I know,
that's something that I'm looking forward to. I'm pumped up about it because we've been working on it for a while and we're gonna wrap it up soon.
That's gonna be, I'm looking forward to that as well. Actually, I got to see a little bit of a behind the scenes today. It was pretty cool. So thank you again for inviting me with that. Your homeboy, actually, he's pretty professional. I dig his videography. Actually, he's on point. I like that. He's got good skills. He's got mad skills. So he's real professional. So hey, you guys ever need a videographer out here in El Paso? You know who to hit up. Definitely has all the right equipment. He's very professional, and so I was very interested in. Thank you, inspired for that today. So thank you.
Yeah, it was a cool experience.
It really was. It was just.
And the weather was perfect.
The weather was actually it was amazing. By the way, guys, I'm out here in El Paso, Texas right now. I'm no longer in Colorado, so I'm on my little other venture here, and I got lucky to meet up with 40s. So thank you again for that.
All right. One thing I just want to make a shout out to everybody in El Paso. Much love to the whole city of El Paso, Fabens, all my homeboys, friends, family. Everybody out in that area, and just everybody who supports me nationwide, worldwide, whatever, I just want to show love to everybody. Too many people to name. Shout out to my mom for being a soldier.
Right.
On that little Canada excursion or whatever you want to call it.
That's what I'm saying now. Definitely shout out to her mom. Too much props to her, because I know that had to be hard not losing it. You know what I mean? She got some pictures and video clips of whenever I was over there. Oh, did she really? Yes. Quick question, because this is an interesting bottle right here. What exactly are you drinking here? This is the Kangen water. This is King's Living Water. My homeboy Kid 187. I wanted to throw a promotion out there. Shout out to my homeboy Kid 187. This is some very, very, very alkaline water that he has. High alkaline. Awesome. High alkaline. That's what caught my attention. Yes. So do you guys please be sure to look out for this water. This is what gives me my energy to keep on dropping them bangers and pushing out them pimp lyrics. There you go. Keeping his pimp stat on point. That's what's up. Much love, Kid 187. Promotion. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Okay. But please do that. Keep me posted on the Canada experience if you go back. And I'm looking forward to your upcoming new projects and your new releases coming out. You guys make sure you keep updated on all of his... He's always bringing out the bangers, you know what I mean? Like almost on a daily. So, thank you again for this interview and letting me know what's going on with you in Canada. Yeah, that was a recent experience, and thank you, Angel. I appreciate you. No problem. This is Angel Vegas, Angel Vegas Radio.